Hey you guys, what's up? Welcome back. Today we're going to be chatting about some new makeup releases. I'm going to be giving you my brutally honest thoughts per usual. I have a coffee here. I suggest you grab yourself a drink or a snack or whatever because it might be a little bit of a longer one. I think I have like 17 new releases or something like that. I'm just kind of all cozied up today because it's so cold where I live. It all of a sudden dropped down to like 20 degrees. It's been snowing, whatever. So I'm just in full cozy vibes, mood, that kind of situation. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe, you guys. I post 3 to 4 times a week. I'm also going to be doing 31 days of content in December, and you don't want to miss out on that. So go ahead and hit the subscribe button. While you're down there, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. It really does help my channel out. And yeah, let's go ahead and jump right in. I also really quick wanted to talk about, I got one of the new Jackie Aina candles and her holiday launch. The one I'm burning today is the scent Burr and smells so good. So I just wanted to say that, but I'm so, it is literally just so yummy, you guys. I am in the full holiday swing of things. But anyways, I'm actually going to scoot y'all over just a little bit because I am going to pop the photos up here of the items that we are chit-chatting about. The first one is going to be a launch from Kaleidos. They are launching a little contour kit, and I'll be honest, I did not even realize this was from Kaleidos at first. Like I did not even recognize the branding or anything like that. It feels really off-brand for them and what they're typically putting out. So I was kind of confused by the launch. In all actuality, I don't know if they're having like a little bit of an identity crisis or what's going on, but this is not catching my eye at all. One, I really just don't contour. I bronze, and that is it. So contour is not even really in my lane of purchasing, but it also just doesn't really feel within the brand's niche, which maybe they're trying to expand, get out of their comfort zone, something like that. I don't know, but it really just felt weird to me, especially because it's like there's seashells and it's giving beach vibes in November, which I don't know where they're based out of. Maybe they're like Southern Hemisphere, so maybe it is getting warm where they are. But for me, I was like, oh, okay, it's snowing, but yeah, puka shells, you know, like that kind of vibe. I don't know, just felt kind of off to me. The next one I wanted to talk about is from Give Me Glow. You guys, this palette is gorgeous. I don't know why they didn't release it like earlier in October though, because it's quite obviously a Halloween launch. There's pumpkins on it. The color story gives me more fall Halloween-y vibes. So I don't really know why they like waited so long to launch this collection, but the color story is absolutely beautiful. They've released swatches now at this point, and it just looks so yummy. I've never tried anything from Give Me Glow. I've never really been pulled in or interested until I saw this, and then I was like, maybe. I don't have any purchases right now, but I was like, damn, this is freaking beautiful. If you are picking it up, let me know. I'm so curious. Like, it just looks stunning. The next thing that launched is a holiday collection from Kiko Milano. Maybe it's just me, but I just think that is all so ugly. I don't know. It just looks, the packaging just looks tacky on the compacts, in my personal opinion. I'm also not really someone that is into, like, with the blushes and stuff, having 2 shades in one compact. I just personally don't like that. Also, let me know, how would you use this little eyeshadow palette with the star on it on the far side with those teeny tiny little pans. Like, you know, those have to be so small, and it's going to be making like a huge mess in there. Like, I just feel like that is no. And then I don't really feel like the little quads they have, none of this spoke to me at all. I was just like, nope, easy pass. I think that the lippies do look really pretty though. But they look like, and it could just be the editing, but they look like more of a metallic finish. And personally, I don't like metallic finishes when it comes to lipsticks. It's just like not really my jam. But yeah, this just wasn't it. The next release is from Nimya. I don't think I'm saying that right, but it's Nikkietutorials Brilliant, which I was kind of like, because correct me if I'm wrong, but when she launched this brand, it was like skincare, which was confusing to me in general because she's been doing makeup tutorials for like ever, but she launched a skincare brand. I kind of just felt like that was weird. And now she's coming out with an eyeshadow palette. I think that this looks really beautiful, but I don't feel like it looks like Nikkie. I don't know, like when I think of Nikkietutorials, I just think like glam to the absolute tens. And this really isn't giving me that. I think the color story is really beautiful. I think it's something I would use. I don't know. I didn't see how much this was retailing for, but I don't know. I was just like a little underwhelmed from what I would expect her to release personally. If you're going to be picking this up, let me know. I'm really curious because I would hope that the formulation and stuff would be good. But I heard a lot of hit or miss things about the collab she did with Beauty Bay. So I don't know. I'm very interested to see reviews regarding this palette, but it's not one that I'm going to be picking up right off the bat, especially because it's her first launch. Next up, what the fuck is HipDot doing? Like, why do they keep releasing these? Are people buying these? Let me know. They just released SpongeBob ones. I think I have another photo in here because they released Elmo ones or Sesame Street ones. And I'm just like, what is going on? Like, maybe are people like buying these for their kids? Is that some kind of wave that's going on right now that I'm not aware of? Because the way that it's like placed in there, how are you going to put that on your eye? Like that, I mean, I just feel like if you were going to get this, it would be more of just like a, oh yeah, I have this like collector's piece. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like functional makeup to me, like at all. So I just think that it's super weird. And they've released like several of these with different like characters and collaborations with like different shows and stuff. And honestly, it's kind of starting to drive me a little bit crazy. So I included it again because I was like, okay, like first I was like, okay, this is weird. And now I'm like, what the flip is going on? Because that's how I feel about this. I don't get it. If you get it, let me know in the comments. Maybe we can explain it to me. I don't know. Okay, so the next launch is from Lisa Eldridge, and I had some serious thoughts on these before, and then now I have some tea. So I'm going to share the thoughts and the tea. So the thoughts are, what? $70 for 6 shades. Are you kidding me? And it's so funny because people were so bent out of shape about the Makeup by Mario price point, and it was like $70 for like 12 shades, and everyone was like, oh my god. And then Lisa Eldridge released this 6 shades for $70, and everyone's like, oh my god, so pretty, blah 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 blah. And I'm just like, what? So anyways, yeah, that was my first thing. Like, this pricing is outrageous. I've never tried anything from Lisa Eldridge, so I can't really speak to the formula or the quality or anything like that. I will say, I mean, I think the packaging looks nice. It looks pretty. I think the color stories are really pretty curated. This is never something I would pick up just because, you know, it seems wild to me. And then the funny thing is, I had a friend pick one of these up. She got the purple one and she swatched it on Instagram, and I immediately messaged her and I was like, I'm crying because these look like absolute shit. Like literally, you guys, her swatches, you could barely see them. They looked light, they looked chalky. I was like, this looks like freaking trash. And she was like, honestly, it is. And she's been using it over the past few days and she's like, literally, it's just bad. Which is so, I'm just like, dang. So if you've tried one of these, if you picked them up, did you have a similar experience to what my friend had, or were yours good? Let me know in the comments. I'm really curious. Maybe it's a thing where it's just not, gosh, my face is so itchy today. Maybe it's just not like consistent formulation, that kind of situation. But I was dead when I saw those swatches. I was like, oh my God, for $70, I would be outraged, rightfully so. Next up, It Cosmetics is releasing another one of their brushes. I know a lot of people collect these, so I wanted to include them if you didn't know that they were launching another one. They are, and it's a little hippie / 70s focused brush. I think it is really pretty. I have one, and I actually used it today. This is the one they do for like Ulta, and they do like the fun handle. I think that I like the fun handles a lot, and like that they have little stuff in them more than like that. But either way, these foundation brushes, in my opinion, are really good. I used it today to blend out my foundation. I think it looks nice. I really enjoy these. So if you've been curious or on the fence, I do think that those brushes are really nice and they're worth the coin. So yeah, I just thought I would include it because I thought it was pretty and it's something that I like. Next up, P. Louise. She is a creator that I don't support, which I kind of forgot about until I saw this launch. So she's not included in my problematic brands video. But I wanted to include this launch because I always feel like, and I mean, obviously there's a market for it. Like, she's still in business. She still makes sales. But her packaging is always so flippin' bulky. Then I'm like, how do people store this shit? Like, you know, and this one, I just don't like it at all because it's like on one side, you're going to have this one color story, and then on the back side of it, you have a different color story. So I don't know. I just feel weird that like when you store it, unless you're like setting it up, you're like putting one side down or the other side down. I don't really like that. I also just don't really feel like I personally would use these shades. And I even feel like you have, I don't know, a smidge of crossover in like the gradients. Like the yellow shades in each one look pretty similar. But yeah, I don't know. It's just so much, so bulky. And I guess maybe I'm just at the point in my collection where like, I don't want more. Like, I want less, if that makes sense. Like, smaller, curated, easy to store, that kind of situation. And this is just so big and bulky. I mean, obviously there's a market for it, but not my pocketbook. This next one, maybe I'm just like too old, out of the times, could be that. But this collab that Bobbi Brown is doing feels so freaking random. I don't know who the Tokyo, I don't know who the collaborator is, first of all. I don't know. Second of all, it doesn't feel very like on brand with Bobbi Brown or what I've like thought of Bobbi Brown. So it feels like very off brand. I And it feels random. That's what I'm gonna say. It feels like, what the fuck is happening here? I saw this and I was like, what the hell? And then I was like, Bobbi Brown, what the double hell? It just doesn't feel like the brand at all. And I don't know, it's not personally my vibe. I'm sure there's people that love it. I'm just like, maybe out of the times. It looks like some sort of like anime fictional character. I don't know, but doesn't catch my eyeball at all. Okay, but this little cutie from Essence, this is so cute. Like, look at this little palette. And I'm sure it's like super affordable too. I'm actually kind of shocked that, again, like we didn't see this earlier in the month. Just because it has like little pumpkins and stuff on it. Like, obviously it's very fall driven, and we're kind of getting to the time now where brands are leaning more toward holidays. But I honestly think that this looks so cute. I feel like you might lack a little bit of depth in it, but I know like with Essence's products are typically pretty like affordable. I've never tried their eyeshadows though, so I don't know if they're good. I've heard good things, but aesthetically, I think this looks really cute. Next up, Artist Couture released another palette, and they released 3 lippies. The palette is an all matte palette, and honestly, I think it looks nice. I think this would be a really good one for like travel, something like, you know, your basics to take with you, and then like grabbing a couple of toppers. Like, I think this looks really nice. But I think before you pick it up, I think we should all remind ourselves that we have these shades probably 20 times over. So really, we both know that we don't need it. I think the lipsticks look pretty too. They look a little more warm tone though, so probably not something that would be my personal preference. I've also never tried Artist Couture, so I don't know. It's a brand that's pretty hyped up though, so I don't know. But it just looks like your basic run-of-the-mill neutrals, all matte. Like I said, I think it would just be good for travel, which is like what I'm going to use. I have this nude palette and what I'm going to use it for. But yeah, I don't know. I think it looks nice. I think if it's something that's going to fit a niche in your collection, it could be a good one. And then I wanted to include this one from Rhode. This is a lip balm. And I know this is more like skincare based. It's like a lip balm, and like, I don't know. I'm including it because I'm just so like fed up with like celebrity brands and just jumping on the train, and like, I don't know. I don't think okay, I do have one celebrity, well, celebrity-ish, Item Beauty. Is Addison Rae. She's a TikToker if I'm not mistaken. But I have one palette from her, but other than that, I don't have any like celebrity brand or famous brand people like in my collection. Like, I'm really just not into it because it just feels so like cash grabby, and not to be like gatekeeping the beauty community or whatever, but I just already feel like it's, you know, oversaturated, and people just buy stuff because they're like, oh, I love that person, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, I don't know. I just, for some reason, it just made me like grumpy, but yeah, I'm not picking that up. This palette from Bella Beauty Bar, I wanted to include this, the Euphoric Dreams, because they are restocking it. It's been out of stock. They're restocking it. So I just wanted to let y'all know in case you were curious and picking it up. I do think that it is really pretty. I haven't tried this brand, but the colors look very like vibrant. And I am interested in trying more indie brands this year. I did a poll over on IG asking people like what their favorite indie brands were, and I saved those and plan to repost them at some point. Could probably do that today. But yeah, I think that this looks gorgeous. The next launch that I thought was like WTF is from RMS Beauty. They're releasing a Flirtation Color lip palette, this little quad of a lip palette, and like, I just want to know who the fuck uses these? Who uses them? Anybody? Because I feel like people don't use them. So I'm like, why is RMS like releasing this? Like, I don't know. I just, I personally don't use products like that. I want to use products like that. I just feel like sometimes we get from those brands, it's like, this is so random and almost feels like out of touch with like the times and stuff. And that's like personally what this reminded me of. And I was just like, who still uses these? Like, if you do, no judgment, like use what you love. But I just like, I guess there's no one that I know or talk to anymore that uses this kind of product. So it feels like kind of random to me. And I'm kind of like, RMS as a whole, I'm like, are they like doing okay? Because I don't ever hear anyone talk about them. So I don't know what's going on. But that seems like a bad last-ditch effort if that's what it is. Next up, Profusion quite literally released everything for their holiday collection. I kid you not, you guys. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, like 11 plus eyeshadow palettes in their holiday collection. Like, that is just so much and so overwhelming. Like, you'll probably see this in more like, you know, Walmart and stuff like that, and people will pick it up for gifts, which I'm sure that's like why they do it. But I'm just like, oh my gosh, when I saw this, I'm like, why is there so much shit? Like, you know, what is going on? I've heard really great things about Profusion and their formulation, and eventually, like, I would like to try it. But like, if I were to walk up to like a kiosk or whatever and see all of this, I'd be like a little bit overwhelmed just in the, you know, selections alone. Plus, I don't think like there's a lot of similarities between these palettes. It's almost like they just, you know, mixed and matched the same shades throughout like all 4 of the bigger palettes at least. It's not for me. I don't know. I think those brushes look really cute though. I don't know what those little macaroons are supposed to be for, but I love me a macaroon. But yeah, honestly, it just feels big. It feels random. It feels overdone, over the top, overwhelming. Really just not something that I would be into at all. And then the last thing, which just went up today as I'm like filming this, MAC like just released their holiday collection. We talked about it a couple weeks ago and I was like, yeah, it's like not my vibe. It's ugly. And then today, without no warning at all, they were like, hi, we launched this collection. It's called MAC in Whitney Houston. And we have this eyeshadow palette, blushes, all of this stuff. And it just like came way out of left field. It feels random. It looks random. I don't know. I was kind of like, what the hell? I think the packaging looks pretty, as a whole. I do like this packaging a lot better than I like their holiday collection. But I don't know. I just feel like the collaboration in itself is a little bit random. Maybe there's some kind of tie I don't know about, or maybe it's one of those things that like brands will randomly do as like a cash grab, like when Urban Decay like did the Prince collab that was absolutely terrible. I think this looks better than that. But yeah, I don't know. I just honestly, I'm kind of glad because a lot of these, there's literally one release that I was kind of like, oh, the Give Me Glow, that I was kind of like, oh, I could see myself using that, picking that up, like whatever. But that's quite literally the only one. Everything else that I saw, I was like, that's nice, but I wouldn't buy it, or I like, that's random, I hate it. So honestly, that's good. That makes me feel better. There's not a lot right now that I'm like feeling like I need to have. I'm really interested to see what brands are going to launch in December, because obviously we have Black Friday coming up, which is what I feel like a lot of brands use to get some inventory out before they launch their next collection in December. So I'm really interested to see what those new releases are going to look like. A lot of these releases are misses in my opinion. If you picked any of them up, let me know though. I am curious to hear and chat about it, as well as your thoughts on any of these releases. That's why I like filming these, because I want to hear what you think about the releases as well. But yeah, that is all that I have for you guys in today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like it before you leave, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!